Yo, what is up guys, it is Kid Kabam, and today we're back with another Overwatch video, and today we're going to be telling a little bit of a story that happened to me a while back, and this story takes place at a summer camp that I used to go to all summer, almost every single summer that I had, until up to this point. So, sorry, I have the hiccups right now for some reason, but, so, this summer camp was like a bunch of fun. I'm not gonna tell the name just because I don't want to give any hate to the summer camp or anything like that. I don't really tell like I don't know. I just don't want to tell the summer camp where I went to. But anyway, so the summer camp, guys, it was a pretty fun summer camp. It was a bunch of stuff to do. It was an overnight summer camp. It wasn't like sports or anything. It was just a place where you could drop your kids off for the summer and they could just have a shit ton of fun with a bunch of other kids. And yeah, it was a really good camp. So, at the time, I was probably about 12 years old going to this camp, and there was just a good group of guys that I was around. So each kid got in their own group of kids, or their own group, and so there was a bunch of different groups. And the group I was in had a good bunch of kids in it, and they were all pretty cool. And then you would go, and every day, you would go out with the same group and just do different things. If it was sports, like tag, canoeing, kayaking, anything like that with all the kids, and then you would eat, obviously, and then go to sleep. So you would sleep in cabins. At the time that I was in, I was only in the younger age division, so the cabins were like just air-conditioned, nice little houses, and the cabins, yeah, so the cabins were kind of pretty cool, but they're also very small. The cabins itself is really big, but once you got into your room with your group, each group stayed in their own room, and there's about 12 beds in a room. Then you go sleep in there, and yeah, so that was basically it. So this camp is like this. I think it was a two-week stay. I was going at the camp. I was staying there for 2 weeks, and I think it was about the 6th day that this happened. So it was just a normal day. We woke up, we went and got breakfast. We went to go eat, you know, just a normal day. I think that day we actually went out and played Capture the Flag, and then we went and played Capture the Flag and did a bunch of cool stuff, and then we went to dinner, and I can't remember, it was a while back, but anyways, so once we were getting ready for bed, we would always get told a story, and the story was told by one of our counselors. We had 2 counselors, and one of them was named Mike, and he was from Australia. Now, Mike from Australia would always tell the weirdest stories. He'd tell some crazy stories that were just unbelievable, but he would always tell us that they were true. So, this night he told us about him in Australia, and he saw a rhino, and this rhino was chasing him. So he was running from a goddamn rhino somehow, and it was actually him and his friends were running from a rhino, and like, how the fuck are you gonna run from a rhino, dude? Like, you're gonna die. And so he told us it was completely true, and the way that he actually got away from this rhino was by running up a tree. So he ran up the tree, and I guess rhinos can't turn that well, is what he said, or something like that. So he got up in this tree, the rhino was at the bottom of the tree, and it just couldn't do anything, so it left. So once we heard that story, we were ready for bed. I don't even know why I just told you guys that story. It was just kind of another weird thing that happened that night. But so once we were all ready for bed, we got in our bed and we went to sleep. So once we were in bed and actually asleep, I don't know what time it was through the night that we just heard a fucking loud scream, a loud ass scream, okay? And the scream came from a, I don't know exactly what his name was, I kind of forget what his name was, but it came from a guy on a lower bunk to my left. He was a few bunks down, and he was a pretty cool guy. Like I said, I don't really know his name. I don't think I was too good friends with him, but I don't know, he seemed like a cool guy. But so it was a super loud fucking scream, guys. It was like, I don't know, it was just fucking loud as hell. Something had to be going on. So once we heard this, everyone pretty much jumped out of their bed. The counselor switched on the light, and then shit went mad. So once we got up, we looked right over to the kid that was fucking screaming, and we really couldn't believe what we saw. So it gets kind of fucking weird here, guys. So if you kind of get grossed out, my bad. So another boy in our cabin was actually on top of this kid, humping him, I guess. He was literally fucking humping the kid. Like fucking on top of him, legs spread on his wiener humping him. Okay, yeah, they were both dressed and, like, you know, maybe he was just trying to be funny, but it was like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning and this guy was straight fucking humping the dude. Now, like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on, but we just knew some shit was going mad, and the dude who fucking yelled, like, I don't know how the fuck he just sat there and let the kid hump him. Like, he just screamed. He didn't fucking, like, throw a punch or anything. Like, if that was me and I was fucking getting humped, bro, dude, I would go, like, get up and beat this kid's ass. Now, keep in mind, like, the kid that was getting humped was, like, a big guy, and the kid that was humping him was a small little kid, like a very small kid. Like, the dude could have easily just fucking RKO this guy, like, fucking 1-2, boom, boom, you're fucking dead. So, I'm not sure how that guy didn't get his ass kicked, but somehow he managed to fucking, the guy that was humping him fucking managed to stay, like, fucking out of any fights, and, like, I don't understand how he didn't fucking get destroyed, but I guess the guy who was getting humped just kept his cool and screamed a bit and didn't throw any punches, but it was all cool. Anyways, so the next day, the guy that actually did the humping got kicked out of the camp, and he got kicked out of the camp and was, like, never heard of again. We weren't even allowed to talk to him, and so yeah, that's pretty cool. But then this is where it gets really weird. So once the camp was over, 2 weeks was done, I go home, and, like, when I go home, my parents are, like, ready to pick me up. It's 2 hours away, the camp from my house. So when they pick me up, we go home. On the way home, we go to a restaurant. I forget exactly what restaurant we get to. I think it was Rosie's, actually. So we went to a Rosie's, and when we sat down, we were eating. A fucking frog was, and this right now has no relevance to what we were just talking about. We were talking about some kid getting humped, and now we're talking about me eating dinner at Rosie's and a frog. Oh, okay, so this frog was at my table, and the frog was just jumping around. So it was already a fucking weird-ass night, because there's a frog under my goddamn table. Like, what the fuck is a frog doing in a restaurant? So, yes, believe it or not, there was a goddamn frog at my table, and we all freak out. So, once we, like, get this frog out of our goddamn way, then the waiter comes and brings us our drinks. Now the waiter brings us our drinks, and they fucking spill everywhere. She drops one on the table, and then she drops the entire tray of drinks that she had. So all the fucking drinks are spilled everywhere. Thank God they're in plastic cups, so there wasn't glass anywhere. But yeah, we were fucking just sitting here, water spill all over us, fucking frogs fucking jumping around, and then this is where this fucking restaurant comes into play. This is why it is,
where do you want me to be?
Like, related to what we were just talking about. So when we're there and we're eating, we're on like the patio. So there's like a patio at Rosie, so we're on the outside. We're not eating inside, guys. I guess that explains why the frog is there. But so now the frog was jumping around. There's water spilling everywhere, and then we look outside to the patio, and there's a fence that borders around the patio. It's just a fence. On the outside of this fence, guys, believe it or not, the kid that humped the guy at my camp was sitting out there looking at my family, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Ben," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" What? It's like, I guess this guy was eating there or something and saw me, and so he tried sneaking around the back to, like, scare us or something. But he was fucking where I was eating. He was literally outside the fence, and I was confused as shit. So when he was there, I was just like, "Yo, what's up? What happened to you, man?" And like, god damn, was that weird. It was probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how that guy just shows up out of nowhere. Like why was he there? Like, and why did he hump that kid, man? I honestly really don't know. But that's basically all I really wanted to talk about in this video. That's really all I had to say, guys. I guess I can finish out this game and try to come up with something else to talk about. But that's basically the whole story. I don't really know why that kid was humping anyone, why he showed up at the place I was eating at, why the fuck he even knew my name, man. I never talked to the kid. But I guess all in all, that was a really weird experience I had with this camp, and this is one reason why I'm never going back to the camp again. Now, I guess we can get into, since we have a little bit of time left with this game, I guess we're gonna get into something else that happened at this camp. Now, keep in mind, a bunch of stuff like has happened to me at this camp. Nothing as crazy as what we just talking about, but just a few other reasons why I don't really want to go back there. And I guess this is just one of them. So the camp has a bunch of different age groups. It goes up to actually like age 18 is when you can't go anymore. If you're over 18, actually I think it's just if you're 18. If you're 18, you can't go to the camp anymore. But it also goes down to as low as like age 12, maybe? No, definitely younger than 12. Probably about age 11. But when you're age 11, you're in like I said, you're in nicer cabins and stuff like that. And then when you're age like 16 and up, then you're outside in these fucking tents, which just sucks ass. But anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of young kids. You guys get my point. So usually when you think of young kids, you're just like, oh, it's a bunch of cute little kids, right? Unless they're like fucking like ugly. But you're like, oh, it's a bunch of cute little kids. And so they were always cool, they were always cute, and like fucking running around playing tag and shit. But now, since we've gotten like fucking into like fucking this new like era where people are like doing whips and dabs and shit like that, all these like 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds are running around this camp dabbing, whipping, and I'm just like, what the fuck is life? Why are you guys doing this? Like, you used to be so cute, and now you're sitting here doing like fucking dabs? Like, that's just another reason I don't really go to the camp, because like they literally host like dance lessons at the camp to teach you how to dab and shit. So all you see going around this fucking camp is a bunch of kids doing like dabs and shit that are like 12 years old, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So that's just another reason I really got annoyed with that, and that's just another reason why I don't really go back to the camp and kind of just ditched it. I'm not sure if anything else is really happening at the camp besides that. I think that's basically it. I know I'm doing really shitty right now. I'm trying to really talk about these topics, so these games have been pretty shit quality, but you know, I can't really focus on the game and talk about what I'm trying to talk about, so I guess I'll just have to get better at it. But hopefully you guys are enjoying these fucking weird ass stories about what's going on and at this camp, and then hopefully you're enjoying the gameplay too. But I think that's basically everything that's happened at this camp. God damn, I'm just getting raped from left and right. But yeah, that's basically all I have to really talk about at this camp, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm probably just going to speed the last part of this up, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.